The more I consider Fallout Season 2, the more I see why, although being fairly decent, it falls short of its potential. And no, it has nothing to do with wokeism, video game canonicity, or any of the other absurd charges made against it by critics. It's far duller than that, but it's also more significant, and Episode 7, The Handoff, makes it quite evident. It's the framework. Fallout features a huge cast and constantly manages several characters and plots. This isn't out of the ordinary or anything, but the problem with it is that it makes it impossible to properly focus on individuals and situations that require further analysis to fully realize their consequences. The underlying war never changes undercurrent of Fallout is a larger concept than that one-line synopsis implies, and there's something about building everything in increments, past and present, across many viewpoints, that doesn't do it any justice. Steph is from Canada. Steph is one example. The Handoff builds to her impending marriage and the late-stage denouement in which an outraged mob chases her through the vault hallways because she's "Are you Canadian?" Even though we already knew this, a flashback provides clarification. Steph and her mother grew raised in the Uranium City internment camp, which is part of what is jokingly referred to as the Big 51. This is because, similar to the games, Canada was conquered by an expansionist pre-war United States, and its population were held in line by the prudent use of force supplemented with power armor. Thus, the fact that Steph being Canadian is somewhat significant. The flashback serves as a helpful reminder that the United States is not the protagonist of this tale. It is absurd to think that the state's moral bankruptcy is a recent phenomenon. In a brief cameo as Steph's mother before she is tragically injured, Natasha Henstridge warns Steph that the only way she will live is to think of the people she is becoming close to as Americans rather than as fellow humans. Trauma has shaped her ruthless survival instincts since she was a young child. Given how intriguing the mythology implications are and how helpful the characterization is for Steph, it's all nice information that helps contextualize the breakdown of the marriage ceremony, but it's all happening too quickly. She would get an entire episode on most shows. This one has very little extra time. Dad-daughter time. There are hints of this in Lucy and Hank's story, but I believe it does better since it has a more straightforward, intimate plot and has focused more on the past in both seasons. Lucy is essentially given a tour of what has developed into Hank's insane laboratory while she is still imprisoned in the Vault-Tec headquarters. He views it as a learning moment, and watching them return to their father-daughter routines is quite effective. You can understand why Lucy would, at least partially, believe what he's saying, but Hank's inability to comprehend Lucy's point that his own actions destroyed their previous relationship, which he still yearns for, is excellent villain growth. Additionally, Hank finds it difficult to market the brain-computer interface. His description of it makes it sound worse than simple mind control, which doesn't go ignored, even though he's attempting to suggest that it's some sort of benevolent technology that would help nurture peace and understanding. To the best of my knowledge, it eliminates all of the painful memories of the Wasteland and replaces them with fresh concepts and viewpoints from a mainframe. This is the dangerous part. Therefore, that goes beyond simply robbing people of their identities, as demonstrated by Biff's current lack of knowledge of Lucy or the NCR, to include programming them with new identities at the request of another person. Not a really good pairing. Hank truly exemplifies Fallout's rambling, quasi-political explanations for horrific, self-serving evils, whereas Lucy is the complete opposite. Fallout is a game and television show. Her moral simplicity is frequently depicted as naivete, but it's actually just common sense navigating a world that is only defined by rhetoric of justification and party lines. Just two ghouls spending time together. The ghoul, Maximus, and Thaddeus are responsible for all of the classic Fallout action in Fallout Season 2 Episode 7. They have now banded together to plunder an NCR armory and are ready to battle the Deathclaws that are preventing entrance to Vegas. A humorous repeating beat describes how Thaddeus's ghoul state is getting worse in progressively concerning ways, such as his arm falling off and a chattering mouth sprouting in his shoulder. There is also some character stuff. However, the main purpose of it is to put these characters close to Lucy and company, as well as to show us Maximus fighting Deathclaws while wearing power armor. The ghoul does see House's face on a massive computer screen once he enters, which is a pleasant visual for fans to accompany all the Deathclaw dismemberment. Very true to the brand. Not in the frying pan. Strangely, the most insightful scenes in a Fallout show frequently occur in the past, which may be because they have a direct impact on the present. This is particularly clear in The Handoff, which gets its name from the flashback scenes in which Cooper tries to give the cold fusion he removed from Hank's neck to a beneficiary. The only issue is that no one in America would benefit from it, a point that the Canadian government has publicly underlined. Giving Representative Welch and the President the cold fusion is Cooper's best-case scenario. This is obviously a poor idea given what we know about this administration and the nagging knowledge that the bombs still fall either way, but it's the most practical choice at the moment. Additionally, it results in Fallout Season 2's most effective use of juxtaposition to date. Here, Lucy learns that Hank's mainframe is actually Diane Welch's severed head, which is attached to several wires and has a straw hanging limply from her mouth, probably for some sort of feeding. In case it wasn't clear that Cooper's decision was a poor one.